In 1965, Gary Player won the US Open and became the third man to win the Grand Slam of golf. A year later, Jack Nicklaus did the same thing. He became the fourth man to have won the Grand Slam of golf. Well, that same year, Jack Nicklaus came to South Africa and played a series of exhibition matches against Gary Player. And the very first one was played at the golf course that I grew up on, Zwartkop Country Club. And the two of them decided to have a practice round because Jack hadn't played for a little bit. And they decided to come and have a practice round on the Sunday afternoon. The match took place on the Monday. Now we're talking about, at the time, the two greatest golfers in the world. Perhaps along with Arnold Palmer, but they were the two best golfers in the world. The people came in their thousands. They estimated there were sort of 15 or 20,000 people watching two people play golf. Well, there's a river that runs through the golf course, and people were falling in the river, trying to get over, jump over, and doing all sorts of silly things. But my story actually starts during the practice day, because Jack got onto the 8th tee, a decent par 4 in those days. Jack got up there and hit his driver, and the head came off and spun down the fairway, and the head was cracked down the back, so it wasn't usable. And from there on, he had to play with a 3-wood. Anyway, we get to the match, and they start off, and everything goes really nicely. I'd say swimmingly, except a lot of people were swimming because they were falling in the river. But until the 8th tee, funny enough. And some people had climbed into the trees to get a decent view of Jack and Gary driving off this 8th hole, and they disturbed a swarm of bees. And these bees came down, just thousands of them came down, and people ran as if they were being chased by a police dog. And of course they couldn't drive off their tee, so they had to go to the ladies' tee to hit their tee shots. Well, it's quite interesting because Jack was asked a little while ago, a few years ago, now we're talking about maybe 40, 50 years later, and he was asked about coming to South Africa, and he said, my last trip to South Africa, I played at a golf course called Zwartkop, and I didn't have a very good experience. I broke my driver in the practice round and then was attacked by bees in the next round. Well, Jack, we'd love to have you back. Boy, would we love to have you back. Jack Nicklaus has been to South Africa many times since then. He's built golf courses here. He's played in tournaments here. And, I still believe he's the greatest golfer that ever lived. That particular day, he finished birdie, birdie, birdie to tie with Gary. And what I'll never forget, the old 17th at Zwartkop, a short par 4, which was about 340 something yards. Jack Nicklaus took a 3-wood and drove the green, and then 2-putted for his birdie. Well, what a memory. It really was the most amazing memory. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Gary.